To the next team that we go to, Tottenham Hotspur. Antonio Conte, he wasn't gonna come to the club, wasn't gonna hang around the club if he wasn't gonna be back this summer, and they have certainly backed him. So if we look at some of the transfers in, Ivan Perisic from Inter Milan, Fraser Forster from Southampton, Yves Bissouma from Brighton and Hove Albion for 25 million. We'll see how that goes. There's a current legal situation going on with him. But you can't imagine Spurs spending that much amount of money if they don't have some sort of insider or inside track on what's happening there. And then Richarlison for 60 million, which is quite hefty. Um, all in all, I'm sorry, on the outgoings then, Cameron Carter-Vickers to Celtic, Stephen Bergwijn for 26.4 million, with Carter-Vickers going for 6. All in all, pretty impressive. You've Ryan Sessegnon and Reguilon in there at left back, left wing back last season. Obviously, Conte plays a three at the back. Sessegnon ultimately displaced Reguilon towards the end of the season, but Perisic is a player that's played under previously and had success with Conte at Inter Milan. Foster's a backup keeper to Lloris. That's not bad. Bissouma is a good player to add in there. Obviously, for years, it's an area Tottenham have kind of struggled. They've had Harry Winks over Skip. These players that have never really hit in the end. Ndombele, who Conte just no time for at all. Um, Picked up Pierre Højbjerg a couple of seasons ago. That was a very good signing. Picked up Bentancur last season. Another good signing, adds depth. And Bissouma definitely adds to that. I can see him going in there and probably starting alongside Højbjerg. A very good player. A player that was definitely probably along with Cucurella. That's not going to be long for Brighton. And when you only kind of have Steven Bergwijn going out the other way, when they're so well stacked for strikers and wingers, in terms of Son and Kulusevski, and now Richarlison, the Richarlison one is a big one. It's 60 million on a player that are we positive he's even going to start? Kulusevski was one of the players of the season last season for Tottenham. Obviously, Son and Kane most notably, but he was a player that I think he maybe 1 goal in 21 games for Juventus when he came, and all of a sudden took off when he landed in the Premier League. So maybe him and Richarlison battle for a place in the right wing. We'll see how that goes. It's always good to have good players, but if Richarlison can't force his way into that team because he's not replacing Son and he's not replacing Kane, if he can't get in ahead of Kulusevski, it's an awful lot of money. Now, granted, Spurs will be playing the Champions League this season. They should be contending on multiple fronts, but it's still a lot of money to be spending on a player that is not a guaranteed starter. So with that said, that is the only slight caveat with Spurs' transfer window that I'd have so far. So with that said, all in all, I'd probably give it an A minus. A minus for the Spurs.